Hello, my name is Anneta Sadowska and I live and work in Warsaw, Poland, and I'm very proud to be part of the PEPELT team. I have been using picture books for over 25 years, but the last 10 years were very special to me because finally 10 years ago, I found my ideal place, my little heaven, where I read books to kids every day. I presented the program I created to my head teacher, and it has been accepted. And with her support, we've been doing it for the last 10 years, teaching English to children, mainly based on picture books. Our students read books not only during English lessons, but before and after the lessons as well. In the mornings, we have reading clubs. 15 minutes before the lessons start, children read together Roald Dahl, and after the lessons, they have extracurricular activities, and they can come once a week for 50 minutes to discussion clubs that we call sharing stories. During these sharing stories meetings, we read and discuss some controversial and challenging picture books, which lead to controversial and challenging discussions as well. Imaginary Fred. This is the book of the month, and I work with the book. I share the book with students aged 9 and another group of students aged 10. The younger students have quite limited language production, so we started by brainstorming our ideas on topic of friendship. I thought that brainstorming would be a good idea because children could use both languages, mother tongue and English. And through sandwich method, I kept repeating the statements over and over again. And as we were preparing a little poster, I was writing down the ideas the children provided. To guide it a bit, I asked them questions like, who is the best friend? Is it good to have a good friend? Where do you meet a good friend? How do you make friends? What happens if you don't have a friend? I was a bit worried that kids wouldn't come with the idea of imaginary friend. They wouldn't like to share it. But surprisingly, one of the boys immediately answered, if you don't have a real friend, you have no real, as he said, no real. And this way we came to Imaginary Friend. And again, Imaginary Fred, this book, is challenging for 9 years old, both linguistically and cognitively. So I felt maybe it's a good idea to provide a little bridge and lead them slowly to the main book. And I read with the students, I share with the students, Jessica. We watch it on YouTube, just for general listening and also introduction of the idea of imaginary friend. So somehow it led us in a very natural way to a male companion that was Fred. And this time we had real books, and there were 2 students per book, so they had to share. I'm very careful about this sharing idea, as I believe in cooperative learning, and I think sharing the book with someone gives the whole experience a very special dimension. So we read the book together, and then the meeting was over. So actually we finished it there. I left the kids with their ideas, with their feelings, in order to come back after a week and after digestions they've done, we could start something new. With older students, those age 10, I started with unfinished sentences. So I prepared a special card, and students actually drew a card and had to finish the sentence. They could also, if there were willing person raising their hands, pass the card down to someone else who felt willing to share a different idea. The statements were, a friend is, friends always, friends never, friends can, if you don't have a friend, ... So children, so it was brainstorming again, but this time with the feeling that kids can produce some language. And then after that, we went straight to imaginary friend, and we read it slowly using all the while reading techniques such as predicting, guessing, discussing, focusing kids' attention on some graphics or some pictures. The kids loved the book. And when we finished, we had a closing activity, a kind of post-reading thing, and that was some statement. That was sorting out some statements I prepared. The kids had to decide whether they agree or disagree. So we had two placemats, one with yes, another one with no, and we read aloud the statement on the card and had to put it on the right side of the table. The statements were very simple, like it is impossible to have more than one friend, girls have more friends than boys, friends are very necessary to feel happy, a friend in need is a friend indeed, and that of course led to discussion about the core of the friendship. We stop it there, and next week with both groups we started a follow-up session that touch upon the subject of imaginary friend versus real ones. First, we brainstorm ideas again, discussing what benefits, what pros and cons have imaginary friends and real friends. And then we share a book, The Star Who Fell Out of the Sky, just to show children an example of the dynamic of the little group, of a friend group, group of friends, where a little hippo, being smaller and younger than all the others, stand no chance to have equal rights or the same voice as big and strong lion. The children like the book. The book has simpler language, easy to follow for both 9 and 10 years old from our school. And a closing activity was the one of evaluating the 3 books we have used. And surprise, surprise, children decided that the best book is Imaginary Friend. We usually vote for a book, and the difference was absolutely tremendous. It was like 1 to 2 points for The Star Who Fell Out of the Sky, and 5, 6, which 6 was the maximum for Imaginary Friend. So once more, children proved that they really liked to be challenged because they agreed that the book was very difficult, linguistically challenging for them. So once again, they prove that they like to be challenged, and the content speaks really loud. And the picture book is much more than just a tool to teach English. Thank you very much. Hope to see you next month. Goodbye.